Welcome God of War fans! My name is Shayne Static, and in this God of War theory video, I will be discussing Hel will save Atreus in God of War. Please leave a like if you did enjoy your time here, and think about subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Here we go. Hel, the Queen of Helheim and ruler of the dead. We have not seen Hel in God of War quite yet, but since Helheim is a part of the game and it is named after its ruler, then we can safely assume that Hel is a part of the God of War universe. But will Hel make an appearance in God of War Ragnarok, or whatever Sony Santa Monica is going to call it? And what role will she play? Will she be an enemy? Will she be a future friend of Kratos and Atreus? Stay tuned. So this video is a continuation of my last video called Odin Will Torture Atreus. And if you have not seen this video yet, you might be a little confused about this God of War theory video. So I'm going to put a card right here to lead you right to it. And after you finished it, come back to this video and it will make way more sense. And if you have seen it, then thank you for your time and your support. So who is Hel in Norse mythology? Hel in Norse mythology is the ruler of the realm Hel, which is obviously named after her, and overseer of the dead who inhabit it. She is the daughter of Loki, and half of her is beautiful while the other is a rotting corpse. This means she is also sister to Fenrir, the wolf giant who will devour Odin during Ragnarok, and the world serpent Jormungandr. She lived in Asgard with the other gods, but due to her appearance, she disturbed or was shunned by the other gods, which made Odin act. He placed her in the underworld as ruler because of her appearance and named the realm after her. She is mostly known to be greedy, very harsh, and does not concern herself with the trouble of the living. But this is also due to the fact that there is not a lot of literature on Hel from Norse or Icelandic myth. She is mainly just mentioned in passing. One main story that has survived through the years where Hel is a prominent figure is the death of Balder, which I believe was from the Poetic Edda. Balder went to Hel after he died because he did not die in battle or in a glorious way. The god Hermod traveled to Hel to bargain with Hel to return Balder to the living. Hel agreed as long as everyone in the universe would weep for Balder's absence. And every living thing did weep, all except one giant, who turned out to be Loki in disguise. You know, the one god that actually hated Balder. So she kept Balder in Hel. Now, in my opinion, this doesn't really show me that she is cruel or harsh, but someone who is honest and goes by their word. And since her terms were not met, then the bargain could not be done. And personally, I always felt kind of bad for Hel. She was an outcast supposedly for her looks and not for her being cruel or anything like that. She seemed to be an outcast because she was misunderstood. Now in the final battle of Ragnarok, Hel will give control of the dead that she oversees to her father Loki and a giant named Hrym, and they will ferry the dead on a boat alongside the fire giants into battle. This also might play a factor in God of War. Now in God of War, Hel's presence can be seen in the game even though she does not make a full appearance, kind of like Odin. The realm is already named Helheim, so we can safely assume that she does exist in the God of War universe, as said before. Since Jormungandr really is the son of Loki, I assume Hel really is as well. But she is only really mentioned once to my knowledge when we find a Jotnar shrine. In one of the Jotnar shrines, specifically Jormungandr's shrine, you can see off to the side here that Hel is mentioned. It says, son of Loki and Andraboda, talking about Jormungandr, brother of Fenrir, Hel, and the Iron Wolves. I couldn't find much else on Hel in God of War, so tell me in the comments if you have. So how will this affect God of War Ragnarok, or whatever that genius Cory Barlog is going to call it? Maybe even the game after that, but either way, here is what I think will happen. As said before, this is going to connect to my last video, Odin Will Torture Atreus, which is up in the cards, and the rest of the video is going to make way more sense if you watch it. So here we go. Atreus is now Loki, and is chained to a rock in a cave. Whether he is stuck with actual chains, or the Aesir binded him to a rock like Mimir was to his tree, which I really like this idea way better, he is here. A viper is hung from the ceiling of the cave, and venom is dripping on his face and body to cause agonizing pain. I think he is there alone, left to suffer,
but also may have met a lover with his time with the Aesir, like in mythology. But I personally think he's alone. He is basically left to rot. So who is coming to save him? You guessed it, Hel. Hel, being Loki's daughter, should come to her father's rescue. Loki will be astonished that the goddess of the dead will come to try to save him, because I seriously doubt they have ever met. But Shayne, how is she his daughter and they never met? Well, I assume, just like Jormungandr, there will be something to do with time travel, where future Loki will give birth to Hel, but the present Loki doesn't really know that. Maybe she'll be sent back in time somehow to look over the land of the dead in Helheim, and maybe this is how Odin cast her out of Asgard. I'm not 100% sure, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Either way, she is here to help and free Loki from his bindings. She wants revenge against the Aesir, Odin and the other gods for their treatment of her, and at this point, Loki wants revenge as well. So they will team up. Loki, being well trained in combat from his time with his father Kratos and his time with the Aesir, potentially knows some type of weakness the Aesir might have. Hel will give Loki the power to lead her undead warriors. Hel provides the warriors, and Loki provides his leadership and his knowledge. This would make for a very formidable army to rise up against the Aesir and bring the Twilight of the Gods, Ragnarok. So what do you think of this theory? Do you agree, or do you think that I'm way off? Or do you have a theory all of your own? Leave it in the comments down below, and let's discuss it.
My name is Shayne Static, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.